Right, good afternoon, everybody. Hope everybody had a good week this last week. Um, so I want to start off today reading a psalm. Um, I typically do that where I'll just go ahead and pray, but I've been reading Psalm 40 like all week, and it's just like um, it's just like so spiritually nourishing, and it's a little bit longer than the ones I normally read. So hang in there. I promise it'll be worth it. Okay. All right. Psalms 40. I waited for Yahuwah, and he inclined to me and heard my cry. He drew he drew me out of the pit of destruction, out of the muddy clay, and he set my feet upon a rock. He is establishing my steps. Then he put a new song in my mouth, praise to our Elohim. Many do not see it and fear and trust in Yahuwah. Blessed is that man who has made Yahuwah his trust and has not turned to the proud and those turning aside to falsehood. O Yahuwah, my Elohim, many are the wonders which you have done and your purposes toward us. There is no one to compare with you. I declare and speak. They are too many to be numbered. Slaughtering and meal offering you did not desire. You have opened my ears. Ascending offering and sin offering you did not ask for. Then I said, see, I have come. In the scroll of the book it is prescribed for me. I have delighted to do your pleasure, O my Elohim, and your Torah is within my heart. I have proclaimed the good news of righteousness in the assembly. See, I do not restrain my lips, O Yahuwah. You know, I did not conceal your righteousness within my heart. I have declared your trustworthiness and your deliverance. I did not hide your loving commitment and your truth from the great assembly. Do not withhold your compassion from me, O Yahuwah. Let your loving commitment and your truth always watch over me, for evils without number have surrounded me. My crookedness has overtaken me, and I have been unable to see. They became more than the hairs on my head, and my heart has failed me. O pleased, O Yahuwah, to deliver me. O Yahweh, hasten to help me. Let those who seek to destroy my life be ashamed and abashed altogether. Let those who are desiring my evil be driven back and put to shame. Let those who say to me, Aha, be appalled at their own shame. Let all those who seek you rejoice and be glad in you. Let those who love your deliverance always say, Yahuwah be exalted. But I am poor and needy. Let Yahuwah think upon me. You are my help and my deliverer. O my Elohim, do not delay. It's just so good. So good. It's just like verse 11 through 13. Let your loving commitment and your truth always watch over me, for evils without number have surrounded me. My crookedness has overtaken me, and I have been unable to see. They became more than the hairs of my head, and my heart has failed me. Be pleased, O Yahuwah, to deliver me. O Yahuwah, hasten to help me. It's just like, I feel like we always have that, come to Yah moment in our lives where we really just see, like, something happens and we just look around and we just see the the dust, the clouds that we have kicked up around us from all of the things that we decided to do in our lives, and we just see how that all those decisions we made became a snare completely, and we were just surrounded in our own like filth, own mud, you know what I mean? And it's just like that's it's just like such a come to Yah moment, because then everything makes sense to you. Then grace makes sense to you. Then deliverance makes sense to you, because you can't get out of that mess yourself. You really can't. Um, And it seems like every time you try to do it by yourself, you just end up kicking up more dust. You know what I mean? Um, so I've been loving that. Psalm 40 for everybody who might take that. Just like read it once a day. I mean, Psalms are cool because they are literally like approved prayers. You know what I mean? That were written mostly by David, but um, we know David was a very good friend of Yahuwah, so let him be a good example. Okay, so let's get into our analysis. Oh, excuse me. The dollar just went up and up and up and up all week except for Friday, which is cool. Um, come load the picture. It's so frustrating. There we go. Um, so we kind of got the option number one where price it just kept going. We didn't get really any retracement at all, to be completely honest. Yeah, like literally there's no wick on the bottom. So let's go to a lower time frame and just look at that a little closer. Yeah. Sunday open was never taken out. We did have one day of retracement, which was on Friday, but we just went up and up and up all week. And it wasn't a news heavy week last week, um, but we did reach our next bullish objective, which was, I believe this was a two week fair value gap, and we did land into a 2 week order block as well, as we can see right here, right there. So we have a 2 week order block down here. It looks like we just closed this one. So I believe we also have that weekly order block down here as well that has yet to be tapped into. So for me, I mean, it looks like it wants to stay bullish. Um, we have yet to tap into this weekly order block. So maybe we could get it open higher, like up into that order block to take out last week's high. And then maybe we could see some sort of um, retracement downward for the week to then come into that 2 week bullish order block, or the 1 week, and then the following week we could continue bullish. Um, we could do that. Or as you can see, there's also a daily order block right here. Um, so there's definitely a bearish reaction already happening from tapping into that 2 week order block. I'm just gonna mark this weekly one. Um, but it rejected right when I got into it. So that's why we see this bearish candle on the daily. Um, it's respected the previous day's low for now. So I could definitely see that happening. I think we could possibly consider this order block because this body is engulfing the previous body. So we could also maybe just get something that's like, you know what I mean? Something a little more manipulative, either price ending here for the week or getting here on like Tuesday, Wednesday and pivoting to the downside. So this would kind of be more of like a consolidation in the first part of the week. Let's check out and see what news we have. The BRICS Summit. What's this? Oh, FOMC speaker on Tuesday. Home sales, crude oil, USD. We're getting closer to the election too. Which I think, no, I don't even know. Honestly, I don't trust the polls, so it's really hard to say who's pulling ahead. Um, so we don't have like crazy heavy news this week. We only have a few red folders here when it comes to USD. So, and then of course we could get like, you know, just the same old that we've been getting, just price trending upward. Um, so, but healthy price action we would start to see, especially because we came into this fair value gap order blocks and there was liquidity resting above these highs here. I would think that price would want to start to move down for a little bit. Um, so I'm a little more biased towards the sell today, but we're gonna have to wait and see. Obviously, I don't trade on Mondays because I like price to tell me what it's gonna do and give it away a little bit. Okay. deleting this because it actually didn't reach the. Okay. Okay. Okay, so last week on NASDAQ, um, um, we finally broke, let's see, this is Tuesday, Monday. Yeah, we finally broke out of this. We broke this high last week and then we sold down on Tuesday into some liquidity. It kind of looked like price wanted to go back up again to then make a new high, right? By taking these equal lows here. And it broke structure to the upside, right? Came back and retraced, but I mean, this was happening so slowly, like literally slow motion. Um, and it just never broke back to the upside. So, um, let's look on a longer time frame. So it's just like consolidating here, because like this would have been your market structure shift, basically, after price came and grabbed this liquidity, right? Um, And it did. It went up and then it came all the way back into the imbalances that it left on Thursday. It came back to the Wednesday imbalance. And then it just bought. So, but it didn't break the high, but I mean this trend is still being respected. So, um, yeah, yeah. Okay, so I see one of two things happening. Either we could get price is just going to like, you know what I mean? Maybe like come in here and grab some liquidity and then just start going, you know? Then we get like a retracement maybe on Friday or something like that. Um, or I could see this actually being a fail to create a new high. That would require price to actually come down and break this low right here, right? And then we would get a retracement um, down into here because these are like equal lows right here. This one and this one. So we have so much liquidity in here. We have fair value gaps right here. We have a unmitigated order block right here. So price could most definitely come down into here and maybe into this trendline liquidity too. Like guys, there's so much options right now. Um, there's still this huge daily imbalance, but just to play it safe, we're just gonna go into here. And we're just gonna say that could be a pivot to the upside. Oopsie. Let me redo that. Okay, we're just gonna have it come into this order block right here, and then we're gonna pivot. So this would look like Tuesday, Wednesday-ish. Okay. Um, or we could have, let's see, all the way down into this liquidity here. Um, right, and then maybe into that. So this could potentially be a bearish week, depending on how much it sells. If we were going up and then it wants to sell back. Um, but this would be our bearish week. This would be our bullish week. Now, I just want to restate that this could come lower. You know what I mean? But for this analysis purpose, we are just going to leave it right there. Hmm. Yeah, we kind of had an indecision candle, huh? But it kind of broke to the upside. I think it like took out last week's highs and then it just like sold and it just recovered its losses pretty much. Um, it's like, why does that look wrong? Okay, so Okay. So there's NASDAQ. Let's really quickly just zoom out a bit and see where we are at on the macro side of things. Um, so we definitely have a relative equal high going here. So I'll just mark that like that. Because if we do break to the upside, then obviously you would want to aim for the new or that recent high anyway. Um, there's a little bit of an imbalance right here. Okay. It's pretty easy to just assume like, oh yeah, it's gonna make a new high or whatever, but I cannot tell you how many times I have held a trade on NES because I'm like, oh yeah, we're gonna make a new high like last time, and then it literally does not make a new high, and it turns around and goes right back to where it came from. So don't be me. So okay, yeah. So that would be the next objective. Obviously, this one because it's also that high, recent high. But I'll just mark this one too. And so yeah, so we have depending on what side we break to, we have our lower objectives here: equal lows, imbalance, order block, trend line liquidity, order block, daily gap, and we have our bullish one. So depending on what side it breaks to, that is where I'll be looking to place any trades. Um, moving on to Dow. Let's see, what did Dow Jones do for us last week? We got a completely different story on Dow Jones. I don't remember if I traded Dow or not, but we had a slight retracement here um, on Tuesday, and then Wednesday we pivoted to the upside. So that was a pretty textbook. You guys hear me talk about the pivot. Um, so I would just like to mark here that this would have been, we took this low and we shifted structure. This was our market structure shift right here. Okay. And there is still imbalance that has yet to be filled here. And up here too, but I just like to, personally, I just like to take the best, the lowest one. So I'll be looking at this area for an actual point of interest, for price to come to. So on the daily, this is what we're looking like. So we did make a new high in this uptrend here. So it would make sense for price to need to come back and retrace, right? If it wants to continue up. Okay. So like this would be Tuesday, Wednesday. This would potentially be Tuesday, Wednesday using this old high for support. Um, or we could just see maybe price opening lower. We do have some liquidity here. These are pretty close, so maybe we do see price just open lower and like take something like this and then come into here and then we fail to create a new high and we come down lower. Um, yeah, because look how clean this is right here. There's total imbalance here in this daily order block. And then who knows, maybe this could be a Wednesday and we pivot to the upside, or maybe this is like Thursday, we get a retracement on Friday. And then the following week we can look to buy it back up. So that one's pretty simple. I would just like to point out though, I said this last week, we are technically in no man's land, um, which means we are above any known structure to make a educated guess on. And we also hit our last week, I think we fibbed from here. We fibbed something and there was a negative 27 that we were aiming for. Price smashed that literally, I think, like in the first half of the week last week. So we have no pullback yet, so I can't even do another Fibonacci. Um, so yeah, so we're in no man's land. So who knows how long we're gonna keep going up. Let's just throw a fib on here just to take a look and see what that looks like. Um, yeah, so the 78% is oh my gosh, literally smack dab where I had my thingy right in the middle of this displacement here. So that's dope. Um, that being said, we do have a lot of lower objectives, just like NASDAQ. We have this daily imbalance that was never filled. We have these relative equal lows here. We have lows, imbalance order block, lows, imbalance order block in here, and whatnot. So just keep that in mind. I would say this would be an easier pair to just like wait for a sell side sweep if it's going to continue being bullish like this. So aka wait for retracement, don't buy high. Um, let's check the 2 week real quick. Yeah. So this 2 week candle is also closed as well. So let's look and see where. So our 2 week candle is giving us 78 right at the second level of imbalance. Or the third, sorry. So this would be our second, this is our third. Um, so yeah, and then the 100% is right below these relative equal lows, which is where a lot of people put their stop loss. If they are a Fibonacci trader, they'll set like limits at any of these levels, right? And they'll typically put their stop loss below 100 or an 88. So there's definitely liquidity resting below there. Um, Yeah, so I think we would really want to look for really this low to get broken because we respected this one and then we made a new high right here. So I'm gonna set an alert here and you want to watch the price action to see if it's just giving like a wick rejection and it would signal more of a just like a sweep instead of like a structure break. But I think this is definitely going to be an area to watch in the beginning of the week. Okay, cool. And then before we go, let's check on our AUD USD. Um, I didn't check on it. Okay. Okay, so we're still respecting that area. Yeah, so we clearly have come down into this area of support and we have a longer wick, which is a good sign of rejection. So the initial area right here that was broken on the hourly, or it was broken on the 4 hour, didn't hold. So last week we talked about if that didn't hold, um, it's kind of good when you get that because they're just like inducing people into the market and then they're taking them out and they're still respecting this trend right here. So we're just getting some manipulation on the daily though. Like we've broken structure on the 4 hour for sure right here. Um, there's definitely some imbalance left here that hasn't been filled. So if price wants to come back there, this would be a good point of interest to look for. But you have to remember that this is the daily high right here. So price could buy up into this resistance and then continue to sell. So you just want to make sure that you're watching price. You either take profit here and then wait for a larger break of structure to then get in again because it will retrace more than likely and give you that. Um, but yeah, so it's still looking good. Still looking good. I love how it retraced so far. Because if we do get a full respect of this support level, then I mean, how many pips is this? Almost 300 pips, 270 pips. So don't miss that. And yeah, so that's it for today. Thank you so much. I hope that you have a blessed trading week. Go ahead and hit like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever. Help me get this analysis out to the algorithm um, so that we can, create a community of kingdom traders. So everybody have a blessed week and shalom.